Every single goal you've ever set is designed to fail. Not because you're weak, not because you lack discipline, but because goals create a psychological trap that neuroscience has documented for decades. When you set a massive goal, your brain releases dopamine immediately, giving you a reward before you've done any work. That dream body, that business empire, your brain treats the fantasy like an accomplishment. Meanwhile, 92% of New Year's resolutions collapse by February. But here's what haunts me. What if the problem isn't your willpower at all? What if getting 1% better each day actually changes your biology in ways goal setting never can? In 2003, British cycling was an international embarrassment. In 100 years, they'd won a single Olympic gold medal. Riders brought their own pillows to hotels because they didn't trust hygiene standards. Then, Dave Brailsford introduced one philosophy: improve everything by just 1%. They redesigned bike seats for comfort, tested fabrics in wind tunnels, taught hand washing to prevent infections. Each change was laughably small, but 5 years later, British riders dominated the Beijing Olympics. 8 years after that, they'd won 66 Olympic medals and 5 Tour de France victories. The aggregation of marginal gains doesn't just work, it obliterates what massive goal-setting promises but never delivers. Here's where it gets biological. When you improve by 1%, your brain's basal ganglia, the structure that automates behavior, starts building neural pathways. Not through willpower, through repetition so small it bypasses your resistance. MIT neuroscientist Anne Graybiel discovered that habits are encoded as chunked patterns, loops your brain can execute without conscious thought. Big goals demand constant willpower, which depletes like a battery. Tiny improvements become automatic. After 18 months of 1% daily gains, you're not 1% better. You're 37 times better. That's not metaphor. That's exponential math. 1.01 to the 365th power equals 37.78. But most people quit before the curve bends upward. But let's confront the shadow side. Big goals feel heroic. They get applause. Announcing you'll lose 50 pounds or launch a startup makes you feel significant before sunrise. That's the trap. Psychologist Gabrielle Oettingen calls it positive fantasy, mental indulgence that reduces actual effort. Your brain can't distinguish between vividly imagining success and achieving it. Both flood you with serotonin. Meanwhile, 1% improvements feel invisible, embarrassing even. Who brags about reading 2 pages or doing 3 push-ups? Nobody. That's why they work. They demand zero public validation. They operate below your ego's radar. They're the antidote to performative ambition, the quiet accumulation that actually reconstructs who you are. And now you know why improvement by 1% daily changes your biology. It's not just behavior. Stanford researcher B.J. Fogg proved tiny behaviors alter identity faster than monumental efforts because they create what he calls success momentum. Each microscopic win triggers dopamine in healthy doses, reinforcing the loop without the crash big goals guarantee. Your hippocampus encodes these as memories of competence. Your prefrontal cortex stops fighting the change. You become someone who improves, not someone who dreams about it. This is why 1% compounds into unrecognizable success. The math is merciless. The biology is undeniable. And the person you'll become in 18 months is already being built by what you do in the next 18 minutes. If this opened your eyes, hit that like button. It genuinely helps more people discover this. And if you want more breakdowns that challenge how you think about success, subscribe because I dig deep into these every time.